Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 LA Blockchain Summit. My name is Joe Vezzani. I'm the founder and CEO of LunarCRUSH. What a pleasure it is to kick off a fun-filled 2 days where I know we all will collectively move this amazing industry we call home forward. Today, I have an opportunity to give a quick market update. It's been 1 year since the last LA Blockchain Summit, so let's see what changed in 2020. Not a whole lot, right? Before I do, this is not financial advice. The lawyers always make you do it. Let's get started. As many of you know, at LunarCRUSH, we like to say, without a community, there is no crypto. And it's because crypto is truly driven by the community, not earnings reports or technical analysis, and we are always on. We have a truly global industry. So what did that industry look like so far in 2020? On the blue line, you're looking at the total market capitalization for the entire cryptocurrency market. The total cap of the industry in 2020 at the beginning of 2020 had $190 billion market value. Running the numbers based on this previous weekend, the entire market is now worth roughly $342 billion. This means we've seen an 80% increase in the value across the industry since January 1st. This isn't against the market bottom we saw on March 16th, where the flash crash took us down to $142 billion, which gives us a roughly 140% recovery off the bottom. On the orange line, you're looking at all the conversations that happened in the cryptocurrency industry across social media, platforms like Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, Medium, and news sites. In 2020, there was an average of 217,000 mentions across social media for cryptocurrencies each day. We keep record when people mention things like hashtag BTC, $XTZ, or things like Ethereum. We also use crypto-specific machine learning to remove spam. So what drove social wild in 2020? Q1 might feel like forever ago, but it was only late January when the first case of COVID-19 was confirmed in the US, driving what was the beginning of the conversation around cryptocurrency being a potential hedge against the uncertainty on a global scale. Could it be a reality now? Very shortly after, in the first half of March, we were all rushing out to buy toilet paper. COVID definitively ended the conversation about crypto and specifically Bitcoin as a global non-correlated asset. In fact, the data has proven the exact opposite in 2020. As we continued through March, the second largest social event of the year happened when Jack Dorsey's Cash App did the largest ever, until today, Bitcoin giveaway. Social went crazy with the first 500,000 mention day. It was March 20th. Bitcoin was $6,000 a coin. I hope you got yourself some. As the equity market began recovering, so did the cryptocurrency market, with all eyes pointed at May 11th, the third halving of Bitcoin. There were a modest 350,000 mentions that day, which ended up being the fifth largest day thus far in 2020. Summer was quiet from a price perspective, but the conversations kept chugging along, averaging 207,000 cryptocurrency mentions until the #1 event online of 2020. How could we forget July 15th, when Apple, Uber, Elon Musk, and President Barack Obama, to name a few, all tweeted about Bitcoin. Say what you like, but the hack gave Super Bowl ad awareness to cryptocurrency completely free of charge. The following 2 months could be summarized in 2 words: decentralized finance. But you can't help but notice the stars aligned from a liquidity perspective for the DeFi kickoff. The fourth largest event on social media happened on August 13th, when newly minted trader Dave Portnoy made the leap from equities into crypto by stating publicly that he was all in on our industry. With a heavy trader following, social went wild. This obviously ended up being close to an interim top, but again, what great publicity for the cryptocurrency market. One more thing I'd like to point out is the substantive drop-off in mentions we saw starting at the beginning of September. We've seen previous time periods like this, which always end up in a price deflation. You can check out more on LunarCRUSH.com to see real-time access on 2,000 coins. Quickly, before I move on, I'd like to note how the cryptocurrency market performed against the broader equity market. I don't believe it's a fair comparison to put cryptocurrency against things like industrials or the S&P 500 for that matter, but one indice to look at is the NASDAQ 100, the top 100 stocks in the tech industry. You can see the same crypto market cap in blue and the NASDAQ 100 in green. In 2020, the world's best tech stocks and cryptocurrencies were over 92% correlated. Just some food for thought for those of you who are in the beginning of placing your bets in crypto. A lot of talk about Bitcoin thus far, but Bitcoin wasn't the story this year. Especially in the niche market in our community, no one was talking about Bitcoin. There was a huge divergence in dominance starting in mid-June, with Bitcoin's dominance hovering at some of the lowest levels, handedly under 60%. Why? I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. DeFi did make the difference. June 15th marked the beginning of the DeFi bull run. At LunarCRUSH, we felt it too. We started receiving over 20 requests a day with new projects wanting to be listed. And Compound marked the beginning of the rise on June 15th, with prices moving up considerably over the next 2 months after finally taking a breather at the beginning of September. However, based on the capital being invested in this sector, I believe it still has a lot of room to run. A quick glance at DeFi, value locked in DeFi from our friends at DeFi Pulse reinforces the dip in Bitcoin's dominance starting on June 15th. And the prices, they don't disappoint either, with some new and old faces pushing innovation and building amazingly disruptive businesses that will be here for years to come. Here are a couple to name a few. Compound, who's helping over 1.8 billion in assets turn to interest, has a 6-month price change sitting above 50%. Yearn Finance, the DeFi gateway, which is a decentralized platform of yield farming opportunities, has performed exceptionally well over the last 6 months. Celsius, who is building a B2B decentralized lending and borrowing platform, has seen quite the run up. And then finally, we'll spotlight Aave, which is an open source and non-custodial protocol enabling the creation of money markets that you could see barely nudged out Bitcoin in performance over the last 6 months as well. Thank you everyone for listening, and have an amazing conference filled with positive discussions. We're all here to work together and challenge ourselves and each other to be better. And remember, if there's no crypto without a community. This is Joe Vezzani from LunarCRUSH signing off. Thank you, everyone.